G'day guys, E53 here, and welcome to a game that I just picked up for something to do on the weekend and have become absolutely addicted to it. It's called KartKraft. It's out in early access on Steam at the moment, and it's great fun. That's really all I can say about it at this stage. There are quite a few features and placeholders and stuff in the game which obviously hasn't been brought in yet. They've got a bit of a roadmap about the stuff they are bringing in, but I'll give you a quick little guide around what is actually here. So apart from the usual stuff, we've got notification stats, but say for example in here in the shop section we've got all the big brand karts in the world. Arrow, you've got the X30 and the KZ2. KZ2 is a shifter kart with gears, and they've got just about every major manufacturer there. The only one that I can think of which isn't there is Fernando Alonso's karts, so FA karts. They're not on here, but just about everything else is. At the moment they've just got the X30 and the KZ2. They have said that they're also bringing in the K100 air-cooled karts as well. So that's another thing to look forward to. But I guess where this game, what really impressed me about this game to the point that I want to make a video on it was just the fact that this kart, like what you can see here, this X30 kart, I used to race something almost identical to this. The only thing that was really different about this is the stickers, and mine was slightly older, but 125cc water-cooled gearless kart. Oh, it's not non-shifter kart, I should call it. And race that for around about a year. Only reason I stopped really was the fact that when you get into a sport like that, you kind of need money or know-how, and the more you have of one, the less you need of the other. Well, I had none of both. And key into that as well, the fact that our local track is pretty much the breeding ground for the world's flies, I think I'm right in saying. So I didn't do it for too long, only a year. But the reason that I bring that up is I can speak to the realism of this. This feels so realistic, such a good representation of the way these things actually drive. And I guess with other sims, I've never driven a NASCAR before, I've never driven a Formula 1 car before. I can only really guess at what they feel like, but this I can tell from my own personal experience feels really, really close to reality. And it's so good that I've literally just been messing around with this for days now, and really want to give you guys a bit of a look at it as well. As I say, it is still in early access, so there are some bits and pieces missing. There are some reviews on Steam which sort of confuse me a little bit, people complaining about lack of updates, and apparently the update process is too slow for them, or the last update that was brought in didn't bring in the exact piece of content that they wanted to have, and so on. And but you do realise that if you want faster updates, encouraging people to buy early access funds is what goes towards making the game development faster. So I don't know, some people don't seem to think about that, but anyway, I'll take you into the game, have a look. Now I've got the graphics turned down a little bit on this just so I could get a nice smooth recording. They do go a fair bit higher than this, and if you've got a decent PC, it doesn't even have to be that decent, it's just that mine's a bit old and I had to turn it down a bit for the video. But if you've got a half decent PC, this graphics in this are really, really good. But as I say, I've got them turned down a little bit. So all we've got at the moment is practice, race and time trial. And practice obviously speaks for itself. Race, there are some AI drivers in this, and they tend to be guys who are notable world go-karters, so the very top level guys. They've got AI based on them. AI is a little bit erratic. It's okay after the start when everyone sort of settles down a bit, but I imagine that developing AI that are aggressive and frantic enough to be like real life karts versus having them able to not crash into each other and so on is difficult. So there's often a little bit of chaos on the start. After they settle down, they're actually pretty good. And this is the mode that I have been addicted to, and I'm going to show you guys. It's time trial. And it's a time trial unlike... I haven't really seen this particular method on a sim before, and I'm going to show you what I mean. What happens is that they put you on the track up against the ghost of the person just above you in the leaderboard. And it's quite ingenious the way they do it as well, because they've got like their line on the track as well. I mean, the line isn't on the track all the time, but in time trial mode it is. And you can probably turn it off, I don't know, but it shows you where they're braking, where they're turning in, where they're accelerating, and so on. And it's probably the most effective tool for improving lap times that I've actually come across. It's brilliant. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into this. Now, there's 4 tracks available so far. There's actually 2 Aussie tracks in here as well. So we've got Geelong, which, if you're not from Australia, is in the state of Victoria, and then you've also got Go-Kart Club of Victoria, same state, obviously. So I've been bumped down a little bit overnight. So I'm 200th globally here, just to look on the leaderboard, 37th in the country, 200th globally, and unfortunately a couple of tenths off my brother there, which I was ahead of him, but he's beaten me again. So anyway, and Geelong here, Geelong was one of the first tracks, so there's lots and lots of times on here, but you know, nothing to write home about in terms of global. 58th in the country, and a bit off James yet again. So anyway, but I haven't actually done it yet, and I've deliberately held off doing these other 2 tracks because I wanted to actually make this video and give you guys an idea of what it's actually like jumping in against these other lap times and trying to beat them and everything else. So we'll jump into this one here. Looks like the simplest layout, fastest lap in the world right now, 54.623. We are going to get nowhere near that, but we'll see how close we can get, and this is properly addictive, guys. So, alright, and just looking on here, and yeah, it looks like James has got the 10th fastest time in Australia at the moment, which is pretty good. I don't know if I'm going to get anywhere near that, but we'll give it a crack. So just go to start event, and yeah, this is something that they give you at the start. You can just pick plain kart. You can go and buy other ones if you want. And strangely, at the moment, you got your credits up here. And strangely, at the moment, everything you buy doesn't affect that count of credits. I don't really know why, but anyway, it doesn't. So buy it and frenzy. Get after it. Just go on a buying frenzy, because they're going to obviously fix that. Alright, so we're going to jump in now. Just take a sec to load up. And so, as I haven't set a time yet, it's going to put me in against the guy who's currently got the slowest time on the leaderboard. And this guy here, he's only done 1:23. You can imagine he probably crashed. So it's... I don't know this track at all, but we'll follow it around. This is actually my first time driving on this track. We're getting the excuses out the way now. Okay, since we cross the line, he will appear. Okay, he hasn't appeared because we're a mile ahead of him. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't get off track. You get off track, it validates the time. I'm going to go off, yeah, so that's invalidated that, but the sound is bang on. Like that was the first thing that grabbed me about this, is that the audio is absolutely spot on, and it reminded me of stuff I've forgotten about, like how at the end of the main straight at my local track, the engine, you know, used to be able to feel the heat from the exhaust coming through the seat. It felt like it was going to burn you even through your suit, and I'd forgotten about that. But jumping into this just reminded me of all that again. And the handling is just, it's so spot on. I've really got to concentrate on actually learning this thing a bit better. I'm not really paying much attention because I'm talking, but I don't think I'm going to be breaking any world records, that's for sure. But yeah, the kart I had was almost exactly this. The only thing that was really different was the colour. The good thing is, like, as you go through and you're going up against faster and faster guys, obviously you see their line on the track and everything, and by studying that it helps you improve too. So you're just sort of incrementally improving all the time. And you know, I improved my best lap time at Geelong by something like 3 seconds yesterday, just by incrementally getting better and better. So okay, so we beat him by quite a margin. So it gets to the end there and does this little thing here, which is pretty cool. And it shows you where I got. So there we go, 1400th in the world and 79th in the country at the moment. So we want to be doing a fair bit better than that. I do apologise as well. I'm still, I don't know if you saw my last video where I was just saying I was just getting over a cold. It's still hanging on and I'm still coughing a little bit. So if you hear some odd little sound mutes, it's for that reason, because I'm editing that out. But anyway, so this is the next guy ahead of us, Max Grummel with a 104. So he's faster than us at the moment, so we're going to have to get amongst it. And as you can see, this guy's lines are far better than the lines of the guys we just beat. The guy just beat. His engine, because he will ghost onto the track if he gets ahead of us. Of course, my goal is for him not to. Just the feeling of the brakes and everything is just so true to life. Even if you've only driven like at a higher kart place, like an indoor kart place or something, this will still feel familiar to you, I think. Just faster. Oh, that's crap. Alright, so it took another couple of seconds off, so that should bounce us off the leaderboard a little bit. And of course, anybody that you're mates with on Steam, you'll see there, they'll put you in a rank with them as well, so you can see what you're doing compared to your friends. So I moved up a little way. Who are we up against next? Only pistol. I'm hoping where it says on the side there the time for talk is over, I'm hoping that's something that you can personalise later on. They're going to have personalised race numbers and everything else, where at the moment they don't. Okay, here we go. Nice quick run. Okay, that wasn't onto the straight. I thought that was the starting straight. I haven't heard a damn thing about this track. Here we go. stuffed that up, but it's okay. Looks like he stuffed it up more. And that's terrible. Though sometimes running around the outside of the turn in a kart can be faster, but I don't think it was on that occasion. Making a right hash of this. Oh, he's ahead of us. No, you don't. Only just. And this is just so addictive. You just keep going because it just immediately reloads. It immediately loads the next guy's lap, and you just keep going. You can lose hours on this. I finished yesterday with all my arms and wrists and forearms and everything absolutely knackered, and that just the way it used to be when I'd come home from a day of go-karting. Max 33. I don't think that's Max Verstappen. Okay, it's easy to sort of copy your opponent's lines, and it's a good way to get around if you don't know the track, but you look at some of them, especially this low down the order, and you really think that you can do better, so I'm just going to try and do that this time. So bad around there, it's comical. Damn turn gets me every time. I had a nice lead on him, and I've just about ruined it. I was about 3/10 up. Should still be able to beat him though. And it just goes on like this basically. You just build up and build up and build up, and very, very addictive. We'll go for one more go. One more. And then I'll show you a couple of the setup options that are in here, because you can get quite fine-tuned with the setup. So the good thing is, when you do that, it actually changes the appearance of the kart too. Like, it actually reflects what you've done. Alright, dubs. Let's see if we can sort dubs out. Certainly quicker than the last guy. Oh, what do you know, stuffed it up again. There he goes. One corner. Oh, it's coming down the line. I think I've got him by a couple of tenths. Yeah, I got through that last corner better than he did. And you can honestly just do this all day. Really, you just do it all day. I had like 3 separate sessions of playing this yesterday. And of course, as you get higher up as well, the times sort of get closer, so you find that even if you improve by 0.06 or something like that, you'll gain 10 spots. So it's kind of incremental at the moment, because at the bottom of the order everyone else is sort of spread out. I'm not going to race this guy at the moment. I'm just going to take you into the garage section, show you a bit of that. So loads of different bits and pieces. If I've got one criticism, it would be that not all of the setup options come with a really good description of what they actually do. So for example here, the driver position, it'll say changes the centre of gravity, but it doesn't say which way of these is up or down, or that's explained pretty well. Lower sprocket numbers do X, Y, Z, but one of the things, setting up go-karts is strange. Somebody who isn't familiar with karts wouldn't necessarily know that making the front wheels stick out more, like pushing them out wider, gives you more front grip, but you do the same at the back and it gives you less rear grip. They wouldn't know that. So a little bit of a more in-depth description of what everything does would be handy. Also encouraging that they've bothered to call this setup dry. Means they're probably planning to put wet weather into it at some stage as well, which is encouraging. And I guess the other thing, the old tape across the radiator. Other things that they've said are coming with this is the ability to buy upgrade parts, sprockets, hubs, those kind of things, all these little bits and pieces. They haven't implemented it yet, but I'd really like to see him implement something like that with a really good sort of economy to it. So you're purchasing parts. Apparently you're going to be able to swap parts with friends as well. So there's loads of things they've got in the pipeline for it, and if it's done well, it'll almost bring a role-playing aspect to it as well. If you're in a go-kart club with your friends, you're racing against them, they have races that go off regularly, you go there, you race. If you damage something, you got to pay for it. All of this type of stuff, if it's implemented properly, could add a whole new dimension to this game, and a dimension that's lacking from a lot of others out there on the market at the moment. So it could actually really turn into something unique, even more unique as it is now. So I'll probably leave it there anyway, giving you a little bit of an idea about how this particular one works. And if you do like this video, give it a like, and if you want us to do some more, I might jump in and do a race against the AI so you can have a look and see how that goes and everything else. But let me know what you want to see, if you want to see more of this, or if you've got any questions about it, or if you are somebody who does a lot of karts, tell me what you reckon about it, because I reckon from my experience it feels really pretty well bang on. But of course my experience may be a lot less than yours, so let us know what you think. So anyway, that's it from me. Thanks very much for watching, and until next time, catch you later.